What would you do if you discovered the person you were falling for, the one you thought was charming, smart, and kind, was actually a heartless bully who still bragged about ruining someone's life? Well, I didn't just walk away. I made sure he felt a tiny taste of the humiliation he once inflicted. And let me tell you, it ruined his entire birthday. If you've ever wished you could serve justice to someone who hurt others, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. Because this revenge story, it's going to make you feel so good. I was 26, and for the first time in a long time, I thought I'd met someone really special. Thomas, 28 years old, smart, well-educated, sweet. He had this way of making me feel like I mattered. The kind of guy you could picture introducing to your parents. After just 7 weeks of dating, he invited me to celebrate his 29th birthday weekend at his father's countryside house in a small French town. His dad would be there. 2 of his closest childhood friends, Alex and Bart, would be there too. I was excited. Nervous, sure, but excited. Meeting a man's father that early, it meant something. Day 1, Friday, it started beautifully. His father was warm, intelligent, and so easy to talk to. I remember thinking, wow, no wonder Thomas turned out so well. If only I knew. Day 2, Saturday, that evening, the whole group gathered around a little campfire in the garden. Neighbors, old friends, glasses of wine, laughter floating in the night air. At first, it was wholesome, sharing silly childhood stories, the kind that make you shake your head and laugh at how dumb kids can be. But then, the stories shifted. Thomas and his friends started telling a tale that sent ice straight through my veins. They actually laughed, as they described how, as teenagers, they tormented a boy named Arthur for 6 months. A shy, isolated kid. Easy prey. The worst part? They didn't just tease him in person. They created a fake online girlfriend. Catfished him with pictures of Bart's cousin. They strung him along for months, letting him believe someone cared about him. Letting him open his heart, send love messages, dream of connection. And then, the final cruelty, they tricked him into traveling hours by bus for a fake date. Told him to wear a specific t-shirt as part of some inside joke. No one was there waiting. And the next day at school, Thomas and Bart humiliated him further, showing everyone his private love messages. Arthur disappeared. Changed schools. Broken. And Thomas, sitting there almost 15 years later, still grinning, still bragging. Even joking that they wished they'd been better at being evil and gotten him to send intimate photos. My stomach turned. I glanced at his father, and I'll never forget his face. Pure disappointment. Shame. His son, so drunk and so full of himself, didn't even notice. I couldn't sit there. My skin crawled. I slipped away, back into the house, heart pounding, mind racing. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. The thought looped in my head, how could someone still find that funny? By the time Thomas stumbled into bed at 4 a.m., I already knew. I couldn't stay with him. But leaving wasn't enough. Not for what I'd just heard. Day 3, the birthday. The plan was simple. I was supposed to take him out for a romantic one-on-one lunch before rejoining the group for a party. Instead, I quietly packed my bags at dawn. Took a train back to Paris. But before I left, I set a trap. I texted Thomas, "Happy birthday, love. I have a surprise planned for you. Meet me at this location in a few hours. I need to go early to prepare." I picked the spot at random on Google Maps. A place over an hour away. When he woke up at 10 a.m. and saw the message, he was thrilled. Sent me excited texts, promising to follow instructions. At 12:30, he arrived. I strung him along. Told him there were delays. Then gave him a new location, another 30 minutes away. By 1:15, he was at the restaurant. I told him to order food. To get the most expensive bottle of wine. To trust me. That everything would make sense soon. And then, I went silent. His calls poured in. Messages one after another. At 1:30, at 2:00, at 3 o'clock. Each one more frantic. More confused. Finally, I answered with a single text. In French, "So, How does it feel to have people play with your feelings? And then, nothing. He called. He begged. Even his friend Alex phoned me, furious, saying I'd ruined Thomas's birthday. I told him the truth. This is a tiny payback for what you did to Arthur. Tell Thomas to stop calling me. And I hung up. I blocked them all. That night, guilt tugged at me. I had liked Thomas before that night. But then I thought of Arthur waiting alone for hours in that stupid t-shirt, heartbreaking as the realization sank in. Compared to that, Thomas got off easy. Over the next weeks, Thomas tried. He called, texted, even had mutual friends reach out. Some people scolded me, said I was crazy for punishing him for teenage mistakes. But others understood. Me. I don't regret it. Thomas, 29 years old, it's supposed to be his big day. He's dressed in his best shirt, hair combed back, sitting at a table for two in a nice French restaurant. The waiter places the most expensive bottle of wine in front of him, just like I told him to order. At first, he's glowing. Excited. He thinks he's about to be swept into some grand romantic gesture, the kind of surprise he'll brag about to his friends later. He's checking his watch, smiling at every sound of footsteps, expecting me. But minutes tick by. 10. 20. 30. The food grows cold. The wine sits untouched. His smile fades, replaced by nervous glances at the door. He starts calling. Texting. Voice rising with every unanswered ring. By the time an hour passes, he's shifting in his seat, face red not just from the wine, but from the creeping humiliation of diners watching him. Whispering. Wondering why the man celebrating his birthday has been abandoned. Finally, my message pops up on his phone. So, how does it feel to have people play with your feelings? And that's when it hits him. That sinking, sickening realization. The same one Arthur must have felt years ago when he stood alone, waiting for a girl who never existed. For Thomas, it was just one afternoon. But for me, it was justice. Not complete justice, but enough to let him taste the cruelty he once served so easily. Here's the thing, justice doesn't always come in grand, cinematic moments. Sometimes, it's a quiet reckoning. Sometimes, it's simply holding up a mirror and forcing someone to feel, even for a heartbeat, the pain they caused. I don't know where Arthur is today. I don't know if he ever healed. But I hope he found peace. And if Thomas learned anything from that ruined birthday, it's this: cruelty isn't forgotten, and sometimes, karma just needs a little nudge. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, do you think I went too far, or not far enough? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more revenge stories that prove karma always finds a way.